Recently, the mainland media outlet Sohu News produced a series of posters on domestic social issues based on official authoritative data. The report was initially intended to cool the current domestic, manic, populist public opinion atmosphere, but it accidentally exposed a large number of social problems in China. At present, these posters are entirely banned. According to the report, the current average monthly disposable income of 700 million people is less than 2,614 yuan. The current unemployment rate of young people exceeded 20% for the first time. The birth rate showed negative growth for the first time in 61 years. At least 150 million only children are under pressure to look after their elderly parents. The juvenile crime rate increased by 42.8%. The risk of depression in the unemployed group is 31%. About 50 million elderly people aged 60 to 69 are still doing heavy work. China has about 85 million disabled people. More than 20 million people suffer from rare diseases. After the related articles were published, Sohu's posters went viral. Some people said the posters reminded them of the grand narrative created by the Chinese Communist Party, or CCP, that is contrary to the cruel reality. In this regard, Wu Dianzhong, associate professor at the Center for General Education at Taipei University of Marine Technology, pointed out there was an interesting phenomenon in mainland China. Many people lived a miserable and unsatisfactory life, but the CCP had been using its media to paralyze and appease people. People relied on that to comfort themselves. It's called the draw a cake to satisfy hunger trick. He also gave an example of someone who didn't study well and failed the university entrance exam. He was comforted by the thought that his school was the province's model school. A person living in a 20 square meter apartment feels proud to think he is living in the capital. A man dare not say a word when meeting a thief on the street, but every day they can post on military forums saying, "Whoever offends China will be punished, no matter how far away." The most ironic thing is that the grand narrative can make a person lay flat and feel very proud when he hears that the GDP driven by the CCP has taken off. A person who can't even pay a monthly mortgage, despite living in a 90 square meter house, is content with China's vast land and resources. A man is jealous when he sees his neighbor living better than him, but he says he loves his hometown, and tears of joy fill his eyes. These examples show the world that, through propaganda, the CCP can make the Chinese people numb, forget about concrete pain and loss, and continue to get excited about abstract things. Wu Dianzhong also said that he had taken a taxi in China and found that the drivers spoke very well. They can talk about the past and the present, from domestic to international situations, as if the United Nations were run by themselves. In comparison, as he said, is this not unreasonable, as Xi Jinping holds a map of the world, drawing red lines all over the South China Sea and the Taiwan Strait, and wants to liberate the miserable people all over the world, because when the Chinese can't decide what's going on around them, only the grand narrative remains.